Hello and welcome back, children. We shall continue with Standard 7th, Subject English, Unit 4, Poem number 4.1, Under the Greenwood Tree, written by famous poet and writer William Shakespeare. In the previous video, we understood how Shakespeare describes the charms of forest life and asks people to come to join him in forest, and he invites people to come take time to relax under the greenwood tree. So let's continue with the next stanza, the second stanza of the poem. Who doth ambition shun and loves to live in the sun, seeking the food he eats and pleased with what he gets, come hither, come hither, come hither. Here shall he see no enemy but winter and rough weather. Before I start the explanation, let us see some of the difficult words that I've come across in this stanza. The first word we could see is ambition. Ambition means what? Ambition means desire to achieve something. See, children, everybody has an ambition to do something, a goal, isn't it? And to achieve your goal, everybody works hard, strives hard to gain success, isn't it? So that is the ambition. Some have the ambition to be a good doctor or a pilot. So for that, everybody strives hard to achieve the success, isn't it? So that's the ambition. The next word we see is shun. Shun means to avoid. The next is seeking. Seeking means searching or looking for. And the last one we find is pleased. Pleased means to be happy or content. Okay, so these were the difficult words from the stanza. Now, what is actually the poet trying to tell us? Let us see. In this stanza, the poet invites only those people who can give up the worldly desires. Now, what are worldly desires? Worldly desires are like having a car or a big bungalow, or you would like to watch some movies outside, or shopping in shopping mall. So these are all worldly desires which actually human doesn't need. Our needs are very simple. So he invites the people, those who can bear the heat of the sun and work with their own hands for their needs of life and can be satisfied with the simple food that they get in forest. He calls such people to lead a simple life, that is, to live under the shade of trees. And lastly, he says, you can get rid of human hidden enemies, but they will only have to face the trouble of season, which is very common in the forest. So, what message does the poet conveys over here, children? Yes, it's very simple. He wants everybody to live a peaceful life without tensions, enemies, and problems. He requests us to forget all our desires and rejoice in the glory of nature, just like a free bird. I hope, children, you have understood very well. Now, let's have a look of some poetic devices from the poem. First, let's find out some rhyming words and rhyme scheme from the second stanza. In second stanza, we have rhyming words such as shun, sun, then eats, gets. Then third one is hither and weather. Then the next one is see, enemy. Now in my previous video, I have already explained how to find the rhyme scheme. So if you have a doubt, you can go to my previous video and find out and clear your doubt. Now the rhyme scheme over here we can see shun is A, Sun is also A because shun and sun sound the same. So we have given the same name, that is A and A. The next one is eats, which is different from the previous sound. So we give it the name as B. So eats is B. Gets is also B. Hither is again a different sound. So we give it the name as C. Below that is C. S-E-E-C, we give it as D. And the next one is enemy. Enemy and C sound the same, so it's D. And the last one is weather. Weather is sounding just like hither and weather, so weather we will give the sound C. So the rhyme scheme over here is A, B, B, C, D, D, C. Now let us have a look on some of the figures of speech that are used in the poem. In the first stanza, we find the line, come hither, come hither, come hither. Here we can clearly understand that the poet has used the figures of speech, that is repetition, where the words come hither has been repeated for the better poetic effect. Now in the next stanza, you can find who doth ambition shun. Here we can clearly see that the words are not arranged in proper order. So it is inversion. The actual order should be who doth shun ambition. But for the better poetic effect, the poet has used this figures of speech, that is inversion. Next we will also find it is inversion here in this sentence. Just check out the last one. Here shall he see no enemy. Here again the words are not in proper order. The proper order should have been here he shall see no enemy. So again he has used inversion for the better poetic effect. So that's all for today, children. Hope you all have understood whatever I have explained. Your homework is to learn the complete poem and understand it in a better way, learn the meanings and understand all the figures of speech. You can also find some more figures of speech. Thank you, children.